recognize this flower? I do. I only recognize this flower when people pluck it and start blowing the little needles like stem surrounding the actual flower just here. It's incredible what human beings have taught. The flower is only blossoming only because of an incredible fertile ground that it's living a profound and the highest life. Yet we humans pluck those. There are insects that live off this. There are other creatures that live off this. Yet human beings seems to constantly destroy every life element that exists on the planet. And it is sad that we teach this to our children with a very limited mind of parents that exist on the planet today. And somebody posts this on the internet or on video, on social media. So wherever you see one of these flowers, they've been plucked, smashed, destroyed. And so fortunate for me to pick and bring it to you in a different concept, different format to what it's to look and appreciate the perfection of the creation. And that is what we should promote, not to cut it up, not to blow it, not to destroy, but just to appreciate the way it is and learn that we also created with an intelligence to exist in this way. See the beauty. Incredible or what? Every little stalk looks precise and incredible. The creation is phenomenal. It's only if we paid attention to, instead of running up your psychological nonsense, that it's more like a diarrhea these days. It's incredible, folks. When you pay attention to, you can't take your eyes off. And whilst I'm looking at that, and I can look, there's a tiny little insect just here in a small patch of nature. So much to appreciate. All these creatures are feeding on these plants. The spring, summer brings life out and life disappears afterwards. Every life is here for a significant reason, and our human-centric idea is what is destroying. Look at this creature in its perfect sync and its perfect geometry and its perfection. It is the humans that have completely lost the idea of life and it's wonderful. Wow, look at that. Looking for food. If we only pay attention to this phenomena surrounding us, instead of kicking and destroying and bringing a grass lawn mower or a cutter to destroy. Sorry folks, the cargo trains above there, extension of the it's amazing. Isn't that beautiful? All this is, it's lived its fullest life, and it's going back to Earth soon, and is feeding all the other creatures, the insects, life that willing to feed upon this. Amazing. If you go out walking, pay attention to every single flower, every single leaf, every single... Your psychological nonsense will disappear. Wow. Even the Kurd is telling me that's agreed. That's true. It's not you sit inside the house looking at your messages that are popping up on your screen and getting twisted and turned. Look at the intricate art of this beautiful, fluffy, I don't know, fluffy nature's blossoms. And I just simply can't take my eyes off this. And once you start looking at one little spike just there, you're mesmerized. You're just entranced. All your psychological nonsense, your mental health will heal once you start fixing the interiority, not the outside. The outside cannot be fixed. Outside can be flowered. And regardless of flower or dirt, you should be able to use that and turn into a blossoming experience. Every bit of life is phenomenal. Look at this. When you look closely, you simply don't want to take your eyes off, do you? I don't know why people are complaining about mental health. Mental health will only arise when you start up a psychological drama. Instead of, this is existential, this is real, right in front of me. It's showing me that every life is intelligent to exist here. There's an intelligence built in that is, look at this creature hovering, trying to survive, as a bug, spider, looking for food. He's created a contraption using these stalks and is hovering in the middle. Look, what an incredible life. Wow. Can't even capture it. Where is it? Oh, there. Every life is created with an intelligence. It is the humans who have lost it all. A genius only to be educated, a child genius only to be educated to made into an adult as an idiot. An extremely stupid idea that we created this twisted, limited education is what is causing us the most disastrous situations on the planet today. Wow. Intelligent, smart, intuitive, sensitive, efficient, phenomenal. Look at the leg, ready to fly. Every life is precious. Every life is looking to preserve its life to the fullest. Every creature is intelligent and built into a phenomenal life form with a phenomenal intelligence to exist in a given environment. Why are we humans unable to know this? Why are we human? We're the most evolved and cerebrally capable on this earth as a life, is crippled in a way that nobody knows the beginning and the end. Nobody's paid enough attention to the very individual life form that's throbbing within, because everything has been fixed from the outside, where the interior is turmoil, interior is boiling, interior is consciously in a twist, because of the exterior situations, because we've only been educated to fit to the outside situations, yet the life happens within. The outside situations can make you freak or make you find solutions to a situation that you are thrown into. Yet we throw ourselves into situations when the outside situation is pleasant and beautiful, because it seems as human beings our capacity to enhance the solution is not what we have been taught, educated. We are educated to create multiple situations and multiple problems. I hope we can reverse and rise above the twisted mental diarrhea. Look at this little bee going from flower to flower. Amazing, right? It knows exactly where the fresh ones are. Wow. Amazing. The creation has provided for every life, otherwise it can survive. Once it's done its fullest life here on earth, it'll go back to the earth, and it gives an immense pleasure and pleasantness to watch this. Those tiny little insects that were on my arm, I'm wearing for that reason, so that I don't crush those little insects that comes onto my body, so that I can see them on my clothes rather than on my skin, get tangled in my hair. So because that's food for some other little bigger insects, and those insects are eaten by tiny little birds. Those tiny little birds are eaten by bigger ones. The bigger ones are eaten by, it's all a cycle, folks. And this is what we have to understand. The simplicity of life is a phenomenal circle that supports every other life. So It's not for you or for me to decide who should have life and who shouldn't. Because every life, the insect life, is more significant than your stupid, silly ideas. This little bee, if not for this little bee pollinating and renewing new life around as it goes along, feeding themselves and pollinating, you and I, our nonsense cannot exist. And look at this little creature on that little stem. When you look at that. Look at this, folks. Look at this. And there's life, and life everywhere. There's tiny, tiny little ones that a naked human eye cannot see, are also thriving on these. Look at this fly. Wow. It's food for all. It's the humans who doesn't know what is needed, what's important and what's not. We seems to see everything through a telescope or a microscope or through a lab. Our idea about lab life will only destroy us and eliminate us from existence, and every other creature will flourish. Incredible, right? What do you see first? What can you see straight away? What can you see straight away? Coffee cup, right? But I'm looking at the beautiful duck that's just resting there. Yes, it's drizzling, but that's lovely. It's nice with the plants, nice with the birds, nice with the grass, and foul as anything. Foul and backward as anything. And then I will show you something more. Rubbish, tissues. Why? Because that's all humans are capable of these days. Yes. Drugs. Go in there, smoke, in there, push. Nothing new, folks, nothing new. When the humanity is in this way, don't ask for mental help, because when you pay, when you give out free handouts, you're right. When you give free handouts, humans are finding more problems for themselves to get more free handouts. So, in my understanding, free handout means straight to the tavern, straight to the pub, straight to the bar, straight to the club, straight to the liquor shop. And off the back street, everything else that they get. Yeah. Well, some nations are clever enough to understand for humanity to flourish, there's a different approach to life than giving free handouts. Free handouts have pretty much eliminated all the tribes, all the indigenous population of the planet, because whilst they were drunk and drugged, the outsiders came and stole their land and then put their own laws and rules and said, it was my land, now you have to get out. That's what they did. Yes, for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years.